Hey, what's up? This is Gary from Raz Rentals, and today I'm pretty excited because I get to talk about the brand new Masters of the Universe Origins Rise of Evil 2-pack. This 2-pack is pretty sought after right now. Why? Because it's a Target exclusive, and everybody knows that Target exclusives are always, every collector wants them, and every scalper or flipper wants to find them too. I got lucky. I went in Target the other day looking for NECA toys, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys, of course. And I couldn't find any of those, and I just started walking down the toy aisle, and there it was. There was only one, and it was this one, so I'm pretty happy about it. Why was there only one? Well, I assume it's because on the back here, there's a scratch that goes all the way from here to all the way to the bottom. So, they probably cut this when they were using a box cutter or something like that to open the box. So, I'm sure maybe any other collectors left it because it wasn't mint in box, or the scalpers left this one because they were like, this isn't going to be worth anything. It's got this huge cut in it. Well, it's worth something to me, man. Before I get into the actual action figures, I'm going to talk about the packaging. And just like every other Masters of the Universe Origins figure, this package is covered in amazing artwork. First up the top here, you have a very nice shot of Keldor and Kronis looking at this citadel while, the spirit of Hordak is watching down on them. Sort of something like that, I don't really know all of the mythology and lore of Masters of the Universe like I do, Ninja Turtles and Thundercats and Ghostbusters and stuff. I mostly just watched the Filmation cartoon when I was a kid and played with the toys and, read a few mini comics, not many. So from what I understand, this comes from the 2002 Masters of the Universe cartoon where Keldor... they show how Keldor eventually becomes Skeletor, and Cronus here eventually becomes Trap-Jaw. And they're going to this citadel because they're trying to summon Hordak from some dark dimension where he's been banished. If I'm wrong about any of this, please let me know in the comments. I'm sure somebody has to know a ton more about this stuff than I do. All right, so down at the bottom here, you have a very nice window where you can see both figures inside, and at the bottom it just says Keldor, evil apprentice of Hordak, and Origins Cronus, evil criminal from another dimension. Now, why is he not Origins Keldor? Why is he Origins Cronus? I don't understand. Why would they do that? So, on the side here, you have a very cool shot of the little lizard or frogman that is in the jail of Castle Grayskull. So even him too. This is kind of like an origin story for him. This is like him climbing this rock before they captured him and put him in the jail in Castle Grayskull. Over here, you have a shot of Beastman, Tri-Clops, Merman, and Evil Lyn as they're pointing and looking at this citadel all the way over here. So, that's pretty cool. Now, on the back, you have another very awesome shot here. And this is even cooler than the first because it's a giant battle. You have Keldor, Cronus, and all the evil warriors fighting Captain Radnor. This is Captain Radnor because at the time, he was not king yet. So, from what I understand, Keldor has come to this citadel to summon Hordak from his dark dimension. There's a giant battle that takes place because King Radnor or Captain Radnor is there to stop him. Keldor throws a vial of acid at him. He deflects the acid back at him. It hits him in the face and melts his face and turns him into Skeletor. Now, Cronus, his origins, from what I understand, is that eventually he decided to try to overthrow Skeletor. And so he leads sort of like a little army in an attack against Skeletor. And during the battle, he gets damaged. His face gets all messed up, his arms and all that kind of stuff. Almost dies. So then Skeletor tells Tri-Clops to take his body and fix him back up. And then he becomes Trap-Jaw. So, he's a pretty cool guy. He's always evil. He's so evil, he's turning on him. It's kind of like Starscream and Transformers. So at the top here it says, before Skeletor and Trap-Jaw, Keldor and Kronis terrorized Eternia in their quest for total domination. And down here it just shows you what you can do with this figure. You can pull off his head, and you can also twist him into powerful battle positions. And over here, just has a couple of characters from this toy line. Unfortunately, no new artwork of any new characters, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but what can you do? So, I'm going to open this guy up, and I'll be back in a minute. So here's Keldor and Kronis, free from their plastic bubbly prison. So, my first thoughts on these guys. I really like Keldor a lot. I think he's pretty cool. The first time I ever learned about Keldor is whenever I was just kind of looking back into the whole checklist of Masters of the Universe classics, and I saw him and I was like, holy crap, there is a a version of Skeletor before Skeletor. So I think he's cool. Like, I think he's a pretty nice toy to have. I love all the green highlights on him. I think that's great. Cronus, I'm a little indifferent on. Like, I think it's cool having, the Trap-Jaw Origins figure, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just like Trap-Jaw. Like, Trap-Jaw is such a cool design. So when I look at Cronus, I'm almost kind of like disappointed because he's not Trap-Jaw, There's just certain things about him. Even his face doesn't really look like Trap-Jaw. And I would just rather take a look at Trap-Jaw with all those cool guns and hands and stuff like that. So, I'm going to split this up. I'm going to break down, talk about each figure separately, and then, compare them to the other toys in this line that came out. Like, I'll talk about Keldor next to the other Skeletor figures. I'll talk about all the 4 different Skeletor heads now that we have. And I'll just talk about Cronus and talk about how he looks compared to Trap-Jaw. So let's talk about Keldor. So here's Keldor, and he looks awesome. Now, I forgot to mention it when I was talking about his origin, but supposedly he is the long-lost brother of King Radnor. So that is pretty cool. He's actually He-Man's uncle. Can you believe that? And I just like the look on his face. I like how he looks kind of like an old, like 20s or 30s villain, like he'd be twirling his mustache. He just looks like an evil dude. He even has pointy ears. So I don't know what happened to him that it's almost as if he was, I don't know. He was ugly and kind of scary looking to begin with before he turned into Skeletor. And then, he got acid splashed in his face, which turned his face into a skull. But my other question is, what happened with his arms? Like, he just has regular, like, almost like faker arms because he's the same kind of blue. What happened to him that actually gave him, like, more of the monster arms? And also the feet. He's got regular boots on. So what gave him the monster claw feet? Answer my question, please, if you know. Let me know, because I like to know about all different kinds of cartoon characters and stuff like that. So if you have the answers for me, please share it. What's really cool about Keldor here is that he has a cape. And if you want to, you can use this cape with your Skeletor. So that's pretty great. I think another cool thing is I like the little painted highlights on his armor. Like, I love that green bat in the middle there. And I like how the gem here is pink. Like, that's all cool little hints, or, cool little detail there. I like that a lot. I also think it's interesting because, I've never had a Keldor figure, and I only have the original Masters of the Universe lines and a few Masters of the Universe classics. And most of the classics I have are characters that existed before, except for Fangor. So it's awesome just seeing, like, another guy in the same style of Masters of the Universe that's completely brand new to me. Like, he's got the long hair. Like, what other... Masters of the Universe figures have long hair like that? I don't know. So, I don't know. I just think it's cool having this guy. It's pretty neat. And so if you're going to look at this figure's articulation, he has the same articulation that all the Masters of the Universe Origins figures have. He has a ball-jointed neck. He has rotation and a hinge in his shoulder. You have a swivel and a hinge in the elbow. You have a swivel and a hinge for the wrist. You can rotate his waist. He's got kind of like a ball-jointed hip where you can rotate it out this direction and this direction. You have a swivel and a hinge in the knee. You have a boot cut here, so you can spin the boot around, a boot. And you have a hinge for the ankle, and you also have ankle rockers. So that's all great. You can get him into nice, intimidating poses. My Keldor has a weird skin tag, too. I'm going to have to cut that off with like an X-Acto knife or something. Keldor comes with 2 weapons. First, he comes with his Havoc staff. And I love this thing. I love the translucent green. And, this thing is obviously, it's made out of translucent green, and then the bottom of it is painted purple. So it just looks like he has this regular Havoc staff, but he's powering it up. He's going to shoot some energy beams at the good guys. It fits in his hand really well, so that is good. It stays in there. It doesn't really fall out. Then you have his power sword, and even this too, I love how it actually turns green at the tip. And once again, this is made out of translucent green, and it's painted purple down at the bottom. And what's really cool about this too is that for, the longest time, they've only given you half of the sword for Skeletor, and now you actually have a full sword. You have a green tip, but, it's still good. It's still good. Now, the only problem is that it doesn't stay in his hand for some reason. Like, what is up with this? Why doesn't it keeps falling out? That is not cool. You can sort of fit it in the left hand, but you can see it like slowly starting to move out of the place. I don't know. It's a cool, I guess maybe the handle is just way too big for him. He can't handle it. The last accessory for Keldor is this extra Skeletor head. Now this head is kind of interesting because it actually looks like there's gems in his eyes. I don't understand the relevance of that. Is it supposed to look like he has jewels in his eyes? Or is it just supposed to give it even more of an illusion that his eyes are like glowing red? I don't know. Please let me know if you know anything about this. So you have this extra head, and all you gotta do is just, you lift the heads off, and you can pop on the new head. You can usually hear like a popping. It didn't pop, but it's in there. So that looks pretty good. So now if you're trying to make the perfect Skeletor, you have lots of options here. You can pick one of these 4 heads to put on your Skeletor figure, and yeah, there you go. In my opinion, I think I like this one the best, and then probably this one. These other two, they're okay, but I don't know. This probably, I might like this one the best. That one actually looks pretty cool. He looks intimidating. There's certain things about the other ones that look a little goofy, like this frowny face Skeletor. One problem though is if you're putting this head on this body, this purple is a little bit brighter than this one. This is a very dark purple. Even the armor is very dark compared to this armor. If you take a look at the original Skeletor next to the brand new Keldor Skeletor, like I said, the skin tone is actually very similar. It's very close, but the armor is very dark on this brand new one. So I would say that, like, in order to make my perfect Skeletor, what I would do is I would take the armor off of this guy, the chest plate and the loincloth, put it on this guy. But the only problem with that is that his feet are the brighter purple. And you can't take these feet off and put them on there because now you just have regular human Skeletor feet. So I guess I can't win with this one. This is a shredder cape too that I've been using. So you pop that off there. And I don't know. Let's see if I pop this off of here. You want to have the cape on the classic, like the regular Skeletor figure. Let's see. There we go. You hear that pop? That's what you want. I don't know. It's a cool cape. I kind of prefer the soft goods cape though that I had on there. The Shredder cape from Ninja Turtles 1988. But it's still a very nice, very cool looking cape. If you want to put the Havoc staff in your original Skeletor's hands, it fits perfectly, just like the Keldor figure. Let's see how the full power sword works. Not good. That is a bummer. For me, the perfect Skeletor would be somewhere in the middle between these guys. Like, I like how this one looks like the original toy, but the head is not my favorite. I really like this head a lot. I think that is my favorite Skeletor head so far. I feel like it's surpassed all the other 3. And I really like the dark purple. To me, it almost kind of reminds me more of the original Skeletor purple. But now you have the highlights like the bat and the gem there. Obviously that's not accurate to the original toy, but I feel like it kind of pushes it and makes it into something more. Like, this is great because it's almost like a perfect representation of the original toy besides being brighter. But this one, because it has these extra bits, it kind of makes it a favorite of mine. However, the negative here is that he has the regular human boots. Like, that's not cool. Like, I wish that you could put these feet on this body, and I guess you could, but the boots would be brighter purple than the rest of all the purple on his body. So it would be it would be jarring and wouldn't match. So, if they released little claw feet like this in this dark purple, and I could switch them on there and give him the right arms, this, in my opinion, would be the best Skeletor in this line. But until, or like, you know, the mix of all these things would make the perfect Skeletor. But until we get those boots in that purple color, I'll probably just say that this is my favorite and kind of stick to this as just kind of like a Keldor figure. I'll probably pop this head off and put it onto this one too. I might also switch it just because it's cool to have Keldor as his own figure. Like I said, put that head on there. But, you know, it's just cool seeing Keldor before he's Skeletor and then after Skeletor. You know, when you get these cool things and you start learning more about the characters and their history, you want to learn more and more. So eventually I'll have to watch that cartoon and see everything that happens in it. So here's Cronus. And like I said earlier, I don't know. I'm just a lot more interested in Keldor at this point because I love Trap-Jaw. Trap-Jaw is definitely one of my favorite evil warriors. But when you look at Cronus, you're just like, well, you know, he's cool when he becomes Trap-Jaw. You know, he almost looks like an evil Papa Smurf with the red and the white and the blue color. Plus, his face just doesn't match like Trap-Jaw's face. Like his nose is completely different. I could see if the nose was similar, and you know, Trap-Jaw just has his jaw blown off, and that's why he has that mechanical looking Trap-Jaw face. But this is like, I don't know. There's just something about it that's not doing much for me. He's got this cool armor, and you know, this armor eventually does show up on Trap-Jaw. Only half of it though. On the back here, you do have slots here where you can stick Trap-Jaw's arm, like his hands. So you can plug the hands into these little slots here so you can carry him around on his back. But I don't see the point, because like, would he just hold these like this and use them to like attack people like this? It doesn't make any sense because he doesn't have the mechanical arm to put them on. I thought maybe they were giving you this so you could take this off and put them on your Trap-Jaw figure so that you could put them here instead of putting them on his belt. But the original Trap-Jaw figure, this little guard here, it's actually sculpted into the body. So you can't remove this and put this armor on top. So once again, I just don't see the point in it. Ah, foolish me. I wasn't thinking. You could possibly pull the upper torso off of your Trap-Jaw figure. Take this torso off of Cronus. Pop it in there. Ooh. Ooh. I don't like the way that felt. That seemed dangerous. Oh, come on. Alright, pop the... Oh, this isn't working the best. His head is a very sensitive head. You don't want to... His head will not... I am having a hard time popping in there. I was going to say what you could do is... And I don't want to push it too far because I don't want to accidentally break this, and I won't use this combination anyways. But I guess you could try to get this head onto this body so that you could have the straps in the back, and you could just put the robotic arm into there, and the slightly less robotic arm into there. Come on, get the hell in there. No, I can't pop his head on there. Otherwise, there, you could have it where you had Trap-Jaw have that more special armor with the slots in the back to hold his hands. So, if you can get that on there, you let me know if you succeeded. Cronus only comes with one weapon, and that's this rifle, this like Webster rifle that Webster had in the original series. And you know, this just like gets me excited because Webster was one of my favorite evil warriors. And I can't wait to see his origins figure. There's also a hole on the side of this gun, and there's no peg on Cronus where this can fit in, but maybe it's on the Webster figure. Maybe you can put it on his like backpack or something like that. So let's take a quick look here and see what's all changed from Cronus to Trap-Jaw. What all did he lose and what needed to be rebuilt? Well, I guess his face got cut off or something like that, and they must have replaced it because he's a completely different skin color, and he's got a completely different nose. Now he has a mechanical jaw. Now he has a robotic mechanical arm, much like Many Faces. Originally, this figure has like just a He-Man arm. You have this guard or this armor on his chest. Here you actually have more of it. It goes across his body and covers more of his back, where here it's only on half of his body. Of course, you have this giant mechanical arm with the cool weapons you could put on it. He's got a brand new belt with the skull and crossbones. That's so cool. His head is actually smaller on this toy, which I'm fine with, because I think this is perfect. I kind of wonder if maybe this head might be a little too big. What do you think? You think that head is too big or what? I don't know. And then down at the bottom, his legs are exactly the same. He's got the same exact legs. And that's it. Do you know what would be even cooler than getting this Cronus figure? Is getting Trap-Jaw in this green color. Like, I think this Trap-Jaw looks really awesome. And I hope eventually they do release him in Masters of the Universe Origins. And that is the brand new Masters of the Universe Origins, Keldor and Kronis. Now, I'm sure if you're a hardcore Masters of the Universe fan, you must be dying to get this set if you haven't found it yet. Because, you know, you probably love Keldor and you probably love Cronus and all the story involved, right? For me, as I wouldn't say I'm a casual fan because I'm much more than that. I definitely love Masters of the Universe and have a pretty decent collection. I'm sort of in the middle of things. I really like it too. I'm excited to get more and more figures. For me, that's the thing. It's like, I love the way the Keldor looks here, and even though I think Cronus is just okay, to me, this is just showing like what a promising future we might have with Masters of the Universe Origins. Because now we're getting figures that didn't appear in the original line. You know, these guys didn't come out back in the 80s, right? So then, maybe we'll get more Snake Men, and we'll get more members of the Evil Horde, and, you know, more evil warriors. Like, the sky's the limit. You know, I hope this is really showing that Mattel is willing to, you know, dig deep into the obscure characters from Masters of the Universe. That's what I'm really hoping. And I just can't wait to see who comes next. Like, what characters that we hardly know will be seen in this line. And, you know, like I said, you know, this is such a bummer that they always do this stupid crap with releasing things at Target exclusively or Walmart. Like, I'm just so sick of this already. Like, just release it everywhere so people don't have to, like, sell their organs on the black market so they can find these Masters of the Universe toys or the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. Like, just give me a regular pre-order and just ship it to me and like sell it to me normal. Like, I understand that this is creating like a buzz because these are sought after, you know, more people are talking about it. I get that, but at the same time, there also is a very negative reaction to a lot of this stuff. So hopefully all this stuff could be figured out. That way, like, you know, when these first started appearing on eBay, they were selling, or like, I don't know if they were selling, but the posted prices were like $300 for this 2-pack, which is crazy. And right now it's down to like $80 to $90, which is also still absurd. Like, come on. Just like, you know, why can't they flood Targets with this 2-pack so that everybody who wants one can get one, instead of just flooding Target with more and more He-Man and regular Skeletor figures? Like, come on, Mattel, get on this. So, thanks for watching, and talk to you later.